Hi guys, as usual, before we begin, all the necessary links in the video description and my test system setup details also in the video description. Now, a week or two ago I was reviewing Hidizs AP80 Pro X mobile player that I liked very much for its sound quality, price and portability, because this guy was so small. Along with the player, I got a set of Hidizs MK12 Turris to try some Hidizs headphones, along with some dedicated better silicone tips. These are actually my first Hidizs headphones and I wanted to give them a try. I wanted to hear the company tuning. So I took this set to my vacation last week, actually for the last 2 weeks, the first one at the seashore and the second one in the mountains. And I'm ready to share what I've learned along. So, the first thing, the price. AliExpress wants $222 for those. Hidizs portal asks for $179, but if you will go there and you'll read about them, you'll scroll for a while, and when you want to leave the page scrolling upwards, you may get one of those random pop-ups with $69 flash sale. I got it 3 times. The first time I thought it was purely random, and the other 2 times I was able to get that just by browsing and scrolling after some time. So this is an important thing because, well, kind of spoiling the review. For $222, I would give them more thoughts, because that would be quite expensive. $179 is actually a good price for the set that you're receiving and for the sound quality that you're getting with those, but $69 is basically a steal. So if you can go to the Hidizs portal and just do some scrolling, you will be able to get $110 lower price. So that's something worth trying, and that's a very good price. Now, getting back to the headphones. The specifications, some numbers. These are single dynamic driver magnesium headphones. Magnesium meaning that the driver membrane is made from magnesium. They are also using quite strong 1.5 Tesla magnet inside. And the driver has 12 millimeters diameter, meaning that it's on the larger side when it comes to the dynamic headphones, dynamic IEMs. So, the frequency response is specified as anything between 10 Hz up to 45 kHz. So that's a lot. That's a very high frequency in the treble range. The impedance of those headphones is given as 52 ohms, and the sensitivity is 111 decibels, and that's quite a lot. So these are quite sensitive. Also, we have a THD number, and the total harmonic distortion is specified as lower than 0.3% THD. Yeah, so on paper, they look good. So let's talk about the build, the quality, and the build quality, the comfort, and the cable. Let's start with the build. This is all metal CNC machined aluminum, inspired by the Turris jellyfish. I have to admit that to me they are looking more like leaves or something like that. Nevertheless, I like the looks, I like the build quality. These are not polished and they are not quite matte. I think this is more like a satin finish, but it's really nice. There is also a second version that has shells made of titanium. These ones are made from aluminum. So we get 3 types of nozzles with the headphones. The nozzles are interchangeable. You can just unscrew the nozzle like that. You can see the small rubber grommet there, and you can screw it back. The stock nozzles are rose gold, and we also get a set of silver ones and a set of red ones. what are the differences? The silver ones are tuned for better high frequency response. The rose gold are standard ones and they are called the balanced ones. And the red ones are called vibrant and energetic, and they are tuned for the bass response. So most of my listening, like 90% of that, was made with silver nozzles, as I really enjoyed I wouldn't call it exactly treble tuning. To me it was more like a flat, but more on that later. But I did check the sound qualities with the rose gold and the red ones, and yes, they do significantly change the sound signature. The balanced ones are the most mild ones. The silver ones actually give a boost in the treble, and it's not overdone. And to me, that boost in the treble made them flat in the treble, actually. And the red ones give a bass boost, but it's done in a nice way. It's not muddy, overwhelming bass, but as the name implies, it's energetic and vibrant, meaning that you get, let's say, vibrant quality in the bass. There's more bass, but it's also very dynamic bass. Okay, so that's about the nozzles. As I've said, most of my listening sessions was made with silver ones because that's the way I liked the sound the best. Now, one more thing about the magnet. 1.5 Tesla magnet is stronger than the magnets usually found on the IEMs. The IEM magnets are usually in range between 0.9 and 1.2 Teslas. The theory says that the stronger magnet should give better control to the driver. In a way, I know it's a lame comparison, but in a way, like the damping factor. The higher damping factor with the speaker amplifier allows the amplifier to better control the speakers. So, all metal build, standard 0.78 millimeter connector, so you can replace the cables. The headphones had Hidizs MK12 printed on them, along with the side indicator, and they look really nice. Now, the cable. The standard cable is single-ended. You have an option to get a balanced 4.4 millimeter cable. The tip is cold-plated, and the cable is made from oxygen-free copper and it's silver-plated. It's very elastic, it's very soft, so there's basically no microphonic effect, and this is really quite high quality cable. I kind of miss the fact that I didn't get the optional 4.4 millimeter cable, because again, I've done my listening sessions with the single-ended and my aftermarket 4.4 millimeter cable, and as with all IEMs, the balanced connections always result in better transparency, higher dynamic range, and better imaging, better clarity, better imaging. So I'm kind of missing the 4.4 stock cable, because if it's the same quality as this guy, then it means it's a quite nice, good quality cable. Now, let's move to the rest of the package. As you can see, in the box you'll be getting a soft pouch for your headphones with spring-loaded mechanism. It's actually quite nice. It's fake leather, but it's nice. The tips. You are getting very nice selection of the tips, and the tips do change the sound quality. You have 3 sets of them: vocal tips, balanced tips, and bass tips. They are differing in the internal diameter and in the length of the nozzle. Give me a second, I'll remove them and I will show you what I mean. By the way, if you want to remove them, the simple and easy way is to use a pen like that. So this one, this is actually the black one, so these are the base tips. If you take a look inside here, you'll see that the diameter of the nozzle is quite low. Let's compare that to the vocal ear tips, and you'll see that the diameter for the vocal tips is significantly larger, like 1.5, at least 1.5 larger, and it's also shorter. If you take a look at the mounting of the nozzle, I'm not sure if it will be visible on the camera. I'm trying to do it somehow, but yeah, like that. This mounting here is deeper, meaning that the nozzle is shorter, meaning that the driver and the actual metal nozzle of the IEM is closer to your ear. This one is longer and it's more narrow. And the balance tips are something in between. The nozzle, the rubber, the silicone nozzle is longer, but it's also slightly larger than the base one, yeah, and this guy, but it's also smaller than the vocal nozzle. And these do really affect the sound, and you can actually hear it easily when you're changing them. But the Hidizs also offers something called anemone tips, anemone silicone tips. These are completely optional. Let's open that box. And they look like that. And I have to admit that after trying all of those, I've actually done the rest of my listening sessions with anemone tips because they are connecting the best things from all worlds, meaning that they have large diameter, they have quite long mounting, silicone mounting here, and they do provide very good seal to my ears. So my listening test configuration was silver nozzles and anemone tips because this was the way I liked the sound the best. Now, moving on to the actual review. We've covered the tips, we've covered the cable, we've covered the build. Sorry, I haven't told you about one more very important thing, the comfort. These are all metal, but they are not very heavy, and to my surprise, they are very comfortable in my rather large ears. I would actually dare to say that these are amongst top 3 comfort headphones for me. I'm instantly forgetting that I'm wearing them because the metal keeps the same temperature as my skin, and they are quite light for the metal build, so you're not feeling that you have something in your ear. And in some magic way, the curves here are fitting perfectly to my ear. So that's an important factor. Oh, and you've seen the 1.5 Tesla magnet in action. Let's do that again. Yep, you can actually see how strong the magnets in those are. And by the way, this one is also trying to move, so it's not just, yeah, as you can see. So the magnets are really strong. Now, let's get to the actual review and let's talk about the sound quality. So, the bass. The bass sounds warm and organic. It's not super extended. These will sound natural, but they will not have earth-shaking rumble. It's like the bass would be focused on the mid-bass and organic timbre more than reach and authority. It's a safe, easygoing bass. That changes with the red nozzles, but at the cost of the top end, because the red nozzles are focusing on bass, and with the red nozzles the bass goes deeper and it's stronger. Having said that, I really like the bass with the silver nozzles because for me it was just balanced. It was just the right amount of bass. Now, moving on to mid-range. The mid-range is very smooth and it's very relaxing. The leading words here are comfort and relax. No trace of sibilance. You can listen to these headphones for hours, but they achieve that at the expense of some lack of mid-range detail, some clarity. But I have to admit that they do have a very natural, very organic timbre. I like the instruments and the voice timbre a lot with those headphones. Now, treble. Treble is very smooth and it's not fatiguing, but it's slightly rolled off. You can actually see that in the official frequency response characteristic that are published on the Hidizs portal. And the treble starts rolling off somewhere near 10 kilohertz as far as I remember, a little more than that, but the roll-off is quite sharp. So, the treble is smooth, it's not fatiguing, but it is rolled off. I would personally wish to have more sparkle here. It's very safe tuning, even with silver nozzles. With others, the treble roll-off begins even sooner. So that's the reason I was using the silver nozzles, because for me the silver nozzles gave the, let's say, largest possible treble extension. And that's why I like them. Now, let's talk about some technicalities. Detail. The treble roll-off masks some details. Compared to planars and BA IEMs, you will lose some fine detail, but all in all, it's not bad. These are very similar to KZ Zenith in this area. 99% of stuff in your tracks is still there, but you need to focus and look for it. So let's call it safe, and some reviewers call it the major tuning. Now, scene and imaging. Imaging is impressively good. That's probably due to the size of the drivers. The scene is very wide, everything sounds effortless, even if the contours of the instruments are not razor sharp. But most importantly, you do not get that feeling that everything happens inside of your head. So imaging is the star of the show here. Now, getting to the summary, I think the overall tuning focuses on mid-range, rolling off lowest bass and highest treble. This is tuning, as I've said, very similar to KZ Zenith, the major tuning. I would say it's not like V-shaped, but it's the opposite. It's like a reversed U-shaped, focusing on the mid-range. And this causes them to be focused more on relax than technicalities. Turris will not grab your attention with force. They will not make you focus on music alone. They will let you enjoy them for hours in the background, in the very relaxing and smooth way. Honestly, my personal preference goes with IEMs that will grab 100% of my focus and attention, because that's what I want to do when I'm listening to my music collection. And that's because if you've seen my other reviews, you may remember that I'm an electrostat guy. So electrostats are airy, and they are fast, and they are grabbing you by your face, by your ears, and they are forcing you to focus all of your attention on the music. Now, these are on the other end of the scale. They will be with you for hours, never breaking your comfort and just being with you through the day. I like the imaging they provide and the comfort of the build. As I've said, these are amongst top 3 IEMs when it comes to fit to my ears. I instantly forget that I'm wearing them, and when it comes to the sound qualities, I love the scene, and I really like the natural timbre of the vocals. The imaging here is just superb. Now, the additional nozzles and the additional tips, let them be tuned to your liking. And the anemone tips, those guys here, provide more open and closer to your sound, so these are a very good match. I'm actually very happy that I got those. So, as you can hear, as long as they are not exactly my cup of tea, I can see they can be a very good option for treble sensitive folks, as they absolutely never sound harsh or aggressive. I actually gave them to my wife for a few days when we were on the trip, and she really loved them for a very smooth and relaxing sound quality. She actually asked me for them to be their own. To be her own set of IEMs. So I guess that's one of the ways to recommend them to some people. So thanks for watching this review. I hope you liked this small video. If you did, you're more than welcome to support my channel by buying me a beer, link in the video description, via PayPal or YouTube Super Thanks, that's also under the video. Thanks for watching. Again, all the necessary links in the video description, my test system setup details in the video description, and have a wonderful day with your music, guys. And see you soon.